Good morning, everyone. Suzanne Taylor King here for another edition of Unlock Your Way with STK. And today I'm totally going to fangirl all day long about Joe Apfelbaum, CEO of Evie AI and LinkedIn maestro, almost, I want to say, and just such an incredible AI genius. I'm in love with your software. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you for the kind words. I'm so grateful that people are using Evi AI. It's such a helpful tool for people that are serious about LinkedIn. So thank you for using it, and thank you for
Mhm.
recommending it to your clients.
Yes. I have a little technique that I've developed over the years about who to follow and who to engage with, and it's different for every person. And my company is called Tailored Consulting. So I call this the Tailored 20. And I
Oh,
recommend
wow.
following 20 influencers, 20 peers, and then 20 prospects at any given time and engaging with them on LinkedIn, which is very up your alley as far as, commenting, engaging. Tell me a little bit about, well, one, how you got started with LinkedIn in general. When did you realize that that was the platform for you?
Well, in 2016, Microsoft paid $26.2 billion for LinkedIn. So I've been a big fan of LinkedIn for many years, but I didn't really start paying a lot of attention to it until Microsoft made that investment. I've been following Microsoft for many, many years. I was obsessed with what they were doing. I'm more of a Microsoft person than I am an Apple person. There's a lot of people that are hardcore Apple fans. I was always
Me.
a PC. I kind
Yeah.
of tried to shift to Apple, but
Mhm.
I just couldn't do it. There were so many things about PC that I like better because I'm very technical. And
Mm.
so I was just obsessed with them. And then they bought LinkedIn, and I was like, wow, if they're going to buy LinkedIn,
Yeah.
they're really going to change it around and make it better. And as soon as they bought it, they started adding these features to it. They started adding articles. They started making SEO friendly. They added video, and they added so many different things to it. And I was like, wow, this is an incredible platform. And it was so easy for me to be able to add connections. So in 2016, 2017, 2018, I realized that every connection that I add to LinkedIn also becomes a follower, and you can add up to 30,000 connections. And
Yeah.
so I was like, wow, if I can add a few thousand connections every single year, I will get to 30,000 followers in no time. And that was true. And I was able to generate millions of dollars in revenue as a result of the types of followers that I was
Mhm.
adding. I was getting conversations, I was booking calls, and then people started asking me, Joe, can you teach me? I see that you're doing LinkedIn really well. Can you teach me how to do it? And I was like, I'm not a LinkedIn teacher. I'm not a coach. I'm a CEO. I have a marketing agency. I can do it for you. And so he's like, no, just teach me, teach me, teach me. And so I started teaching people how to do it. And I realized, oh my God, I really enjoy teaching people all the hacks. And people started saying, hey, Joe, if you had a course, I'd buy it. And so I created a course, and we've trained over 1,000 companies on how to leverage
Mhm.
LinkedIn. And one of the things that I realized was that people don't have the time to do all the activities they need to do. They don't have the structure, they don't have the systems and processes. And for a long time, I had a dream to build a software, but I never had the courage to do it.
Mhm.
It's like taking a leap into a world that is unknown, and it's almost like launching a book. I don't know if you've ever met anybody that has written a book but hasn't
Yeah.
published the book. Like
Yes.
you create a masterpiece and you're like, "Oh, I'm not ready to unveil it." So
I'm
many
one of
times
those people. Thanks, Joe. Yeah.
I
Thanks.
built
Thanks for like reading my mind there.
what resonates with you, but it also resonates with millions of people. And
Yeah.
they say the cemetery is the biggest library in the world. And so what people die with their books. And so I said, I don't want to die and me not be publishing some
Mm.
piece of software that makes people's lives better. And over, I would create software, and then I would be afraid to publish it because what if it doesn't work? What if people don't like it? Whatever it is. After I got divorced, I said, listen, I went through the ringer. I have nothing to lose. I am going to launch a software. And so when
Wow.
AI came out, I put up a thing on LinkedIn and I said, who is interested in getting an AI for LinkedIn? If you're interested, fill out this form. And 100 people paid for the AI beta before I even developed it. And I was like, okay,
Mhm.
now I'm forced to develop it. I have 100 people that paid. I have 100 customers already. And
Yeah.
so I developed the software, and it didn't work at first. And I had trouble, but eventually I got it to work. And now we have 15,000 people in 36 countries around the world using it. And I'm just so excited about the impact we're able to make. We just signed up a sales team with 62 users, And the
Wow.
CEO of the company said, dude, this is changing the game for our sales reps because now they're all able to post, they're able to comment, they're able to save their prospects into lists. Whereas before, they were
Mhm.
not able to do it because most of them don't use Sales Navigator. They don't have the ability to do that. Now you have the ability to organize your contacts, the ability to network, the ability to stay top of mind, and it also saves a ton of time. So I'm
Yeah.
just super excited about LinkedIn because you know, on Facebook, I see somebody, I don't know who they are. On Instagram, I see Betty 2532, Dancer 47. I don't know. I have
Right.
no idea who it is. On
Right.
TikTok, I see Big Al 27. I have no idea who Big Al is. But on LinkedIn, I see your first name, your last name, your company name, where you worked before, what you're doing, what you're commenting on. I see everything about you and Jeff Goldberg. And so it's
Yeah.
just amazing that I could see so
Mhm.
much information about a person and really get to know them. And when it comes to the world of AI needs that data in order for it to be able to comment, in order for it to be able to create a connection note, in order for it to build rapport in the DM. And so for me, like the data is everything. And so if you're not using LinkedIn, you're missing out. Every connection on LinkedIn, every follower on LinkedIn is worth 10 times a follower on Instagram.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I only started posting, 5 or 6 days a week, a year and a half ago. And, before that was kind of intermittent. And I just quickly realized that not only was the quality better, but this exactly what you said, so much more information about, is this person somebody that is legit in the space, and their content, it was so much more readily available. And I was one of those beta users of Evie, and has a special place in my heart because that was my mom's name. So,
Aw.
um, I was instantly attracted. I was like, "Ooh, an AI software that has the same name as my mom." So I was like, "Oh, let me check this out." And I had heard such good things about you from Jeff, and I had also been following your LinkedIn advice in your content. So, great visuals, great videos. We're both from New Jersey. And so there was all these things in common that if I had seen you on Facebook or Instagram, I wouldn't have necessarily had that amount of information to be a fan of Joe, right? And I feel like LinkedIn is such an easier place to really find real, genuine people who are doing amazing things in the world.
100%. And you
Yeah.
can see everything that they're doing. It's just crazy.
Mhm.
And you can see their network and you can see their
Yes.
mutual connections. And there's so much that you can see about somebody. And it's also
Mhm.
verified now. Like people verified with their government ID, and LinkedIn's forcing almost everyone to verify. So if you guys are not like taking it seriously, like if someone's in a networking group and they're not using LinkedIn, they're not taking LinkedIn
Mhm.
seriously, they're not taking networking seriously. LinkedIn is
Right.
synonymous with networking. When I Google your name, LinkedIn is number one for almost every single person. And so why not learn how to leverage the platform? Why not take it
Mhm.
seriously? And why not show up every day for 15 minutes a day doing the things that will help you change?
Well, and that's the thing. So that's I think that's what, Evie has shown me, and your method of, commenting, engaging, reaching out to people, it's very easy to do, and it's not overwhelming. And when you have a tool like Evie to help you, I have been doing, a certain method of reaching out to people, certain influencers I follow, certain peers I follow, and then anyone who is a prospect for me or a potential podcast guest. I have all these separate lists of people in Evie. I don't need Sales Navigator at this point in my career. I just don't. And I think the quality of what you've put out really makes it easy for my clients to follow what I'm recommending for them to build their network. And what I love most, and maybe you could talk a little bit about what was your thinking behind not only the lists of people, but the idea that you could go and engage? So, for example, I had an event for coaches this week. And of course, I have a list in Evie that's all coaches. And I can easily go through that list and engage with some of their content, send them a DM and remind them about my event. And it's so easy that you can do it in 15 minutes a day. It doesn't feel overwhelming. What was your thinking behind, the link to the activity feed, number 1, and this idea that engaging more authentically is actually going to move the needle in your business?
Well, what I found was that when I email somebody, they often don't get the email. When
Yes.
I send
Yeah.
somebody a direct message, it gets lost in their inbox because
Mhm.
they're getting so many messages.
Mhm.
But if somebody takes the time to write a post, somebody pours their heart out in a post, and
Mhm.
then crickets. Maybe they get 2 or 3 likes. Maybe their father liked it. Maybe their aunt liked it. Maybe their
Yeah.
cousin or the creepy neighbor liked it. But nobody commented on the post because most people are lurkers. Most people are afraid to comment. And then I
Yeah.
went ahead and I proactively made a list and I proactively checked who posted. And I noticed that somebody in my
Mhm.
networking group poured their heart out about their latest book, or they said that they just donated to a charity, or they just said they were honored. And nobody in the networking group commented, but I took the liberty to comment because I had them on a list.
Yes.
And I have lists of my most engaged people in a
Mm.
spreadsheet. I have 1,000 people in a spreadsheet that are the most engaged people, and I would run through that list every month. And at least once a month, I'm top of mind with 1,000 people. That
Ooh.
has given me so much power.
Mhm.
So, and also in context. So I'm part of the joint venture mastermind group. I'm part of the executives association. I'm in networks like Vistage and Entrepreneurs Organization and
Mhm.
YPO and Inc. 5000. And each network that I'm part of, I have the 20 people that are active in that network. And I know that you're a big fan of the 2020. If you just had a list of 20 people that you saved into a list inside
Mhm.
Evie AI or on a spreadsheet, it would change your life if you literally just looked to see what they've recently posted and
Yes.
then just left a simple comment for them, which shows them that you care. People don't care how much you know until
Mhm.
they know how much you care. Zig Ziglar said that. And
Yeah.
how do you show someone that you care is you give them, what can you give people? Maybe you can't give them an introduction because you don't know who their ideal client is. Maybe you can't give them a soda because they're diabetic. What can you give them? You
Mm.
can give them attention. You can give them love. And when you see a plant and you give a plant a beautiful comment, the plant thrives. When you see a human being and you leave a grateful comment, a loving comment, a thoughtful comment that's relevant to their post, that makes them thrive. So if you want to nurture your network, leave a comment on their post and you will
Beautiful.
be nurturing their network. And what better way to leave a comment than with a tool that will draft one in your voice? Now, we are not automation. We are
Right.
an assistant. So if you had a full-time assistant working for you, your assistant would draft information for you that is relevant to the client, that would help you be able to speed up the process of communicating with the client. And that's the purpose of our AI. It's not here to replace you. It's not here to automate or to sound inauthentic. It's here to draft something that's 80% good, and then you just add the 20% and hit send, which will save you. Instead of spending an hour doing it, you do it in 5 minutes. That's
Mhm.
the idea.
Yeah, and what you said, somebody asked me not too long ago how I had pulled an event together, and people in the room who know me, everybody in the room knows me, but they all didn't know each other, and somebody asked, "Where do these people come from, Suzanne?" I was like, "Oh, I have 4 different networks of people, and this event was for all of them." And she was like, "Say more about that." And I said, "Well, I have this networking group. I have my mastermind group that I participate in. Then I have the groups that I run. And then I have a facilitation group that I'm in." So these 4 different networks of people, I keep track of all of them all in Evie. And what's amazing is that people have started to notice, and and I always reference you. How do you do that? How do you keep track of 4 different networks, plus a list of potential podcast guests, plus a list of coaches, plus a list of people who have come inbound to me. That's a whole nother list of people. And how do you keep track of all that? And I get asked that at least once a day. Maybe I should be an affiliate for you. I'm just thinking maybe I should just, you know.
Evieai.com/affiliate. We would
Okay,
love to
so
have
I
you
just
be an
need to get the
affiliate.
T-shirt that has Evie on it and wear it, because I think what you've created here, not only is it authentic commenting, and I will say because I have it programmed the right way to, talk like me. The only time I edit the comments when I'm using it is to make it shorter, actually. So sometimes it gives me too much and I'll take out half of it because sometimes I think less is more. The other thing I tried was adding more value to the post. So maybe I'll try it out on you and see what you think. Your next post that gives me some sort of instruction or motivation or a tool, if I add value to that post, like end this, well, one, it makes you look even better for that, and it's really easy to do with Evie as well.
100%. And Evie gives you three things. It gives you a goal, a tone, and a persona that you can
Yes.
initiate with each conversation. And so if you find the post that I just wrote a post this morning, I said, who do you know that has a sales team that uses LinkedIn? I asked this question to my connections because
Mhm.
when it comes to referral marketing and professional networking, it's important for you to ask the right questions. A lot of people say, can you refer a business to me? But that's not
Yes.
the best question. Instead, ask them, who do you know, and be specific with the
Mhm.
type of person you want to meet. Who do you know that uses Sales Navigator? Who do you know that's a sales trainer? Who do you know
Yeah.
that's named Jeff Goldberg? Like
Jeff
that's
Goldberg. How many
that's
times can we say his name in this live?
we need the algorithm to remind him. I even
I know.
tagged him under this post right now just
Oh,
to
did
let him
you?
know, to
Okay.
wake him up early in the morning and say, Jeff Goldberg,
Okay.
join us and join us in the conversation. Anyway,
Yeah.
my point is that I put value posts almost every
Mhm.
single day. And when you use EviAI to add value, because one of the
Yeah.
goals are provide value, you're able to instantly be able to provide value in your voice with your profession. Because I'm in marketing, I add marketing related value. If you're a sales
Yes.
trainer, you add sales trainer related value. If you're a coach, you add coaching related value. And so if everyone in my network added a little tiny bit of value to my post, that would
Mhm.
elevate the post, and it would also make you look good because people are reading the comments just like they're reading the post.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know this, but whenever you comment on LinkedIn, if it's more than 7 words, it goes back into the feed. And so what
Oh, okay.
happens is, yeah, what happens is not only does the post go back into the feed, but also that comment appears in the feed under the post for your connections. So every person that's looking at the feed will see a different experience of the feed based on who they're connected to and who commented on the post. I don't know if you've ever seen, if you're on the feed, you can see which one of your
Mhm.
connections liked a particular post.
Yes.
So, and which one of the connections commented, and it highlights that specific comment if it's more than 7 words. So next time you're on the feed, just pay attention to that,
I
and
will.
then you'll see that, and you'll be like, "Wow, I should leave more comments." My recommendation is leaving 5 to 10 comments a day. You don't want to overdo it, but leaving 5 to 10 comments a day is a good amount of comments. So think about it. If you left 10 comments a day for 365 days a year,
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
thousands of little tiny top of mind comments that you're leaving in front of people.
Yes.
And for me, if I can leave 100 comments a week, that's fantastic. That's over 5,000 comments per year. I would love to leave 200 comments a week. That means I'm leaving 10,000 comments a year. With EviAI, that's possible in less than 15 minutes a day.
And visibility was my topic this week on numerous different conversations. And gaining more visibility in today's social media landscape is really the game we're all playing here, to be in front of more people, to be top of mind with more people. And if the human brain can only remember 100 people without the use of technology, how do you keep track of more people have more engagement? You get 1,000 people to remember you. Oh, you have 5,000 people remember you. Oh, you have 30,000 people know who you are. That's the key. That's the key in today's day and age. It's not just about followers. Followers are great. Vanity metrics don't make money. What makes money is that engagement with other people. And you have this interesting way, like we don't know each other really, but I feel as though I know you from your content, from your posts, from Jeff Goldberg. Um, so let's talk a little bit about what that's like. So people know who Joe is because of your visibility. People know who STK is because of my visibility. How has that actually gotten you more business, made you more money, changed things for you?
Well, the way things change things for me is that people do business when they know you, when they like you, and when they trust you. That's like the
Yes.
reality of it. People
Yeah.
won't do business with you if they don't know you, because how are they supposed to do business with you? If they don't like you, even if they trust you, they're probably not going to do business with you. I would say like you is more important. But how did someone
Mm.
is able to like you? You can't be interesting if you're not interested. You got to kind of show the world what you're interested in, and
Yes.
then people will find you interesting even if they're not interested in what you're interested in. If someone's like, Joe, I just want to watch you because you're enthusiastic and passionate. I
Yeah.
think Dale Carnegie says enthusiasm is a skill that you need to learn to have so people can get infected by your enthusiasm,
Yes.
because
Yes,
enthusiasm
yes.
is infectious. So if you're not enthusiastic, if you're not excited, if you're not sharing of yourself with the world, sharing is caring. And so
Mhm.
sharing what you of yourself, I went on LinkedIn Live 131 times this year. That's besides the 100 times that I was on other people's lives. So what I want you to think of that in terms of like,
Mm.
how many times have you even posted? If someone's watching this, how many times have you posted this year? If you post once a day and there's 150 days that pass so far in the year, that's 150 posts. Did you post 150 posts? I went on live 131 times and I'm counting it, and my goal is to go
Incredible.
to 244 times this year. So I'm already halfway past my halfway mark, and my goal is
Mhm.
to really wrap up and do 244 lives this year. And each live, I'm not just doing a live for the sake of doing a live. With each live, I come up with a topic and I sit down and I go deep into the topic. Sometimes my live is 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes my live could be an hour and a half. And
Wow.
so what I want to encourage people is, like, if you Google me right now, you Google my name and you look at the top 1,000 results,
Mhm.
almost 100 of those results are my lives. Like it just shows up in the top 3, 4 pages of LinkedIn. Every third video, every third line item is a video of me, and people are finding me. I have hundreds of new followers on YouTube because I'm just consistently going live, and people don't
Mm.
realize this. One of the things I heard Tony Robbins say, I watched Tony Robbins 3 times at 3 separate UPWs, and one of the things that I heard Tony Robbins say is that if you if you're like most people that are speaking, maybe you're getting one speaking gig a month. That means you're trying 12 times a year. So maybe in 10 years you'll have 100 under your belt.
Mm.
He's like
Mm.
he's like I wanted to become the best speaker in the world. In order to become the best speaker in the world, he said what I needed to do is I needed to speak 3 times a day. And if I didn't
Ooh,
have a speaking engagement, I would get up at a McDonald's and speak. I would just get up and speak to an audience of 5 people, and I would just speak. And then
beautiful.
people would listen, and I would get good. And after doing this for 40 years, you get really, really, really good at something. He's like, in a week, I'm much better than somebody else's in a year. So if you want to get good at something, you got to practice, and practice makes perfect. Like, that's the idea, like repetition and doing it over and over and over. And so I just want to say, like, the exposure that I get gets people to
Mhm.
know me, like me, and trust me. And of
Yes.
course, there are going to be the haters. There are going to be people that don't like me because of what I look like or who I am or what I said, or because they don't really know who I am or what I stand for, and they're just judging me based on what they the feeling that they have, who I remind them of in their life or whatever it is. But that's okay. The vast majority of people that listen to me and get to know
Mhm.
me will actually resonate with my message, because my message is about the secret to living is giving. It's about making a difference. It's about positivity. And people that are in business and that are doing LinkedIn and that are out there, that are on social media, many of them, most of them, I would say, are positive, are
Yeah.
influential, are successful. And so those are the people I want to stay top of mind with. And for me, leaving comments, sending messages, writing posts, that's how you get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And everyone has the power to do that. You have the power to leave a comment, especially with Evie AI.
I love it. Thank you so much.
It's my
I
pleasure.
I seriously, I not only the AI piece of what you do, but just, the authenticity in your videos. You're excited about what you do. Everything you just said we need to do, you do. You model it so, so well for people. And I just want to say thank you for being in my network. I'm driving up to you at some point and we're going to do a live together. I'll take you to lunch or coffee or whatever. Because when I found out you were in New Jersey, I was like, "Oh, he's in New Jersey? Wow." Like, somehow you became more attainable to me to have a conversation with. So, how can everybody get in touch with you? Talk a little bit about your community, and I'll share the link in the comments.
Okay, yeah. So I have a school community that meets 6 times a month called skool.com/AI automation. And I want to teach people how to use artificial intelligence together with automation to help them be able to create agents and to be able to support them both on LinkedIn and off LinkedIn. And then also I have another community called school.com/EviAI. So the AI automation is a premium community. There's a monthly fee to be part of it, but school.com/EviAI is a free one. So definitely go check that one out as well. It's skool.com/EviAI. We give tons of free tips about how to use EviAI and how to use AI for LinkedIn specifically. So if you want to grow your business, definitely become part of this community. Make sure that you put in your LinkedIn URL and that you tell us who you are, because we don't just let anybody in. There's over 150 people waiting to join that community, and we're just not letting them in because we don't know who they are. But if you put in your LinkedIn URL there, we'll know who you are and we'll help you be able to be even more successful. So thank you very much for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being in my life. We'll talk again
Jeff
soon.
Goldberg. Yeah,
Jeff
just say it.
Goldberg.
Jeff Goldberg.
All
All right, thanks,
right.
Joe.
All the best. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.